Hi, I'm Mary Gunn. Welcome to Fun University. Hello, I'm Mary Gunn. I'm Mary Gunn Fun, founder and head professor of Fun University, welcoming you to the July 2nd Cards Plus Lab. And we're doing geometrics this month. And geometrics are real foundational shapes. Nothing that you have not seen for a million years, but maybe, well, you're not a million years old, but nothing you haven't seen used multiple times in your life. But maybe now we'll have a little more with this. You might be able to find some things on other cards, some designs and some different shapes and things, and start putting it into your repertoire from some of the craft things that you make. I have squares tonight. Squares are going to be a blast. I was saying before class that during the pregame show that we could probably do this class for 5 hours because it's just squares are just so packed full. Last week we talked about circles and being eternal and rolling and motion and going forward. Squares are not. Squares are rigid. Squares are framing. Squares are they're solid. They don't have that mobility feel that a circle has. So it would really be fun after I get my samples up tonight or tomorrow. Hi, Vicki. I was just talking about it last night. And but after I get my samples up just to look at the circles, the feels that you get out of the cards with circles, and then the feels you get out of the cards with the more rigid square shapes. So I got a whole lot here. So I'm going to just start rolling through it. None of these are hard again, but I think there's some cute little tricks and trades that maybe that you'll enjoy. Let's just go down to paper. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, this is what I did right before class. I was sitting there looking at this adorable stamp set, which is an old one, and then I thought, oh, if I have a 3-inch piece of cardstock, I can I can stamp it all at once, cut it into 1.5-inch squares. Do a puzzle piece here. You would have the option of making it so it is all where it's supposed to be, or new configuration. Then you would have a really fast, really cute card. I'm going to put this. Okay, here's a little thing. I'm going to put this at the top. It doesn't have as much. Oh yeah, we're kind of. Let me bring this in just a little bit. Okay. We're a little far out there. I bet I feel like I've been set up to do this. Sorry about that wiggle woggle. Anyway, so I'm going to put these off to the side. Stick this piece of black down real fast. Turn in the paper, not the ATG. You know, another thing about ATGs, and I don't think I've said this, but maybe I have, is the environmental. You don't change this all the time. With those little ones, you have to change the plastic all the time. This one's already, makes so much sense. Okay, this doesn't have as much pattern on it, so I'm going to put it at the top so that it doesn't feel out of place. I'm going to put the ones at the bottom that have a little more heft. And if I just stick one down, then we'll play off of that one. And we will have one really, really quick card. And that is summery, and that is cute. Now can you think, I'm not sure if I can, but can you think of what this would be like on a circle? Would there be any different feeling? I'm not sure if I can even think of that, but would definitely, well, let me think that through a little bit. Is there anything you can even think about? I don't know. There probably is on some level. This was just a total extra card that I just wanted to throw in. It's just so summery, and I had watermelon today, and it was so good. Okay, good? Okay. Okay, so I did the camera okay. That's good. There we go. And then just put a little, ooh, I got it right here. We've got, I have two stamp set here. I have a top and a bottom stamp. I am going to go ahead and just cover this top spot. I want to use the bottom one. Move it up though. And we'll move it down. Move it up, move it down. It's like Kim Francis's swimsuit when she was a little girl. Her mom used to always say, Kim, pull your suit up and down. Because the bottom would fall down and the top would go up. So she was forever saying, Kim, pull your suit up and down. Which sounded really funny, but it really made sense. Oh, I could have done year one in a melon. Oh well. Thinking of you is good. There we go. There is one really quick, fast bonus card I had no intentions of doing. And see, I did have another stamp set up, or another stamp ready to go up there, so I just covered it up with some scratch paper so it didn't, if there was any residual ink, it didn't make a mess. There we go. That's cute. I love it. Okay, that's one. Off. Keep going, keep going, keep going. I did get a new stencil. This was from Simon Says, I think, and it has squares in it. And squares are, diamonds are just squares on their head, so knocked over on their keister. I never thought about that, but yes, sir. Either that or squares are diamonds that are standing up straight. So I got that, and look how cute this card is and how fast it was. It was just a matter of sponging. No, not sponging, but brushing in some color, and then just a quick, this would be a down and dirty, like Sue would call it, and sponge in some color, and then do a quick sentiment, and you've got a cute card. Okay, so squares are also cubes, so I invited Pablo Picasso to come to the studio to mask. Not really, he's quite dead. And he did a cubism version of this alligator. Where did I get the stencil? I missed it. Simon Says, I think is where I got it. And I think it was just a Simon Says product. Anyway, this is what Pablo Picasso wanted me to do. And it was also using the stencil and then just cubing out this little alligator, which is a cool food. If you're looking at Chinese food medicine type things, alligator is a cool food to eat. So it's really good in the summer. So that's my Pablo Picasso version of my class tonight. But we've got more. Oh, yes, 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 we have more. I don't even know where to start. There's so much here. We'll just start right here. Okie doke. I've got a basic A2 size card, which is 4 by 5.5. These little die, I'm using a ton tonight. It's close to my heart with the stitched squares. And one thing I did notice that I messed up a couple times is with these little stitches, they do have an upside and a downside, and one is more distinct than the other side. Is kind of, the back side is not quite, the holes aren't quite as strong. So I know that I mixed them up a couple times. So I cut 4 of these. And this is the size, the inside size. We're going to get a couple cards out of these cuts. So the inside is 1.5. We're going to get a couple, and the next card too is using the outside of this, the die cuts that we did here. I'm going to pull out some brushes. And some little distressed ink cubes. Hi, Vicki. So you recovered from last night? We were such partiers, weren't we? So anyway, I was saying that this last night, instead of doing my dinner here, which I double booked, we had dinner with our old club members. And it was fun. It was very, very hot. I'm going to come in from the side and just ink part of this square. We're going to leave part of it white. This is called, what is this called? Abandoned Coral. I wouldn't abandon coral. I like coral a lot. I would not abandon it. Oh, wait, before we put that away. And then I have this little tiny, you could put anything in here. You could put a flower. You could put a heart. You could put, I'm going to use this little butterfly. I'm going to go off the edge just a little bit and that's important because we're going to make a couple more, and I want them to be about in the same space. So there's one, just tone on tone, not doing anything fancy, not overusing product, just real simple way of using things. Now, Inka-Dinka-Doo, where are you, baby? Let's get the yellow one. Where'd the yellow? Oh, he's upside down. So we sat outside last night, and it was stinking hot, and but we were in the shade eventually. And I thought, wow, these girls are they really want to spend time together because they're sitting in this horrible heat. None of these people sit outside in this heat all the time or anything, and it was just, anyway, it was fun, and we were together for a long time. I'm just trying to get the same placement. It's nothing too precise, just a little bit careful. There's increments of precision in these cards, right? Let's crack a pistachio. Okay, so these things really do blend. These little distress inks really do blend better than just a dye base ink. I will tell you. At least that's what I really think. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm fooling myself, but it sure seems like it. I don't know if these things dry out real fast. They're kind of small, but they do blend nicely. I'm going to put this guy about the same place. Yeah. I know my niece in Baton Rouge was talking about how hot it was down there. Yuck. Whoops. There we go. I have one more color to do. I bet you even know what I'm going to do with this. But squares fit together. Circles do not fit together. They can overlap, but because of the motion that they give and the lack of rigid angles, circles just will not stack. But squares definitely can be stacked. You can think of that as when you're making a card or making a layout, because you can think of pictures. You can think of grids on a scrapbook. It just has a whole, for being so simple and being a simple shape and everything, it is phenomenal how different the art can be. Okay, so we have these cute little stamps. Don't they remind you a little bit of a postage stamp? They do me. Then we'll go ahead and stack them on here. Oh, you know what? Well, I hope it's I just heard Boomer just really ripping into something. I hope it's his toy. It sounds like the nylon toy. He is really ripping it into it there. I'm going to put that one up. I'm going to get my T-square out and get started down here to know where to go. These are 1.5. This is 4. I'm not going to do too much math because it's too hard on me. But if I put that there and I do a little eyeballing, I'm going to move it in just a little bit. Just don't set them down too hard when you've got that. That's another thing with the ATG. You don't have to worry about, if you don't set it down hard, you can just pick it up and you won't have to worry about a shiny spot from a liquid or anything. And we're just going to use that nice little straight edge right there to get that bottom. And then I'm going to go ahead and go up here. We're going to make a square and a square. You know those guessing games, how many squares are there or how many triangles are there? This would be kind of like that. And there, I've got this one. You just want to watch for spacing in between your card or your elements there. And if they're pretty even, you'll be okay. See that guy, it's sticking out a little bit, but it's okay. I think it's going to be just fine. Vicki, that's funny. We were only moving our mouths. We were moving our mouths pretty well. Some of us more than others. there was lots of talk going on, wasn't it? Yeah. These girls, they all like each other. It's nice. Okay, I think we'll do the thinking of you again. But did it for 3 hours. We moved our mouths for 3 hours. We did have ice cream cones too, so it was all good. It was so much cooler that way. We'll do the same kind of deal here. We did have dinner, and Vicki made a delicious pasta salad, and I forgot to thank her for it. And I thought of that all day today, so it was nice. Thanks. Pasta salad is just good. And it had artichokes in it. It was really good. Oh, and Boomer. Okay, so Boomer went right to Vicki. We opened the door. We had him upstairs in one of the bedrooms. Well, everybody was getting here because he doesn't understand not leaving the front door. So we had Boomer up there, and so he got to make a grand entrance. And his grand entrance, he went right to Vicki, and Vicki he knew she was a dog person, I think. Hey, Booms, what you doing? Don't eat that. Nope, just a second. Nope, that's not yours. No, baby, that's not yours. Okay, that's mine. Here's yours. Sorry, guys. There's yours. Good boy. Anybody want some? Wouldn't you want to chew on all this? I mean, honestly. Anyway, he went right for Vicki. He just absolutely loved her, and but he was so funny. He would go around the room, each person. We were all spread out. He would go to each person. If they scratched with their right hand, then they'd quit, and he'd go to their left side. And then he'd work to the next person, right hand, left hand. He was playing it. But isn't this cute? And if you wanted to, you could put little black little edges around there so that it looked like more of a stamp. And you could put a little 5 cents. And I had a card like that, and I couldn't find it. But I think this would be like a real cute faux postage stamp card. So, and if I will keep looking for it, but I thought that one turned out pretty cute. And here's a couple other things you can do with those squares. Oh, we got a big cute. Yeah, he knows how to work a room. He does, Sue. And then I took the squares and covered them up, did a little more sponging, and then just some stamping on top of it. And that was nice and bright and happy, I thought. So, and this was just masked. So that was a good way to use those square masks and become the focal point, because they are naked and they stand out better that way, because naked things in the middle of a crowded room or crowded card do stand out nicely. Here was another one using just those squares. And this is just using cardstock, so that's another way to do it. These were similar, they have some similarities, these colors. Put the two darker colors opposite each other so they held their weight a little better. These guys were just also the same thing. I wouldn't want to have, if you had these two light colors on one side or on the top, it got off balance a little fast. But you're getting hungry for candy fruits? That's so funny, because Stephen came through here just a little while ago and said, I want some candy. Those look like candy. And I said, you wouldn't want to eat them. But how simple is this card? And then this was just matted on a larger piece of white. This has a lot. This is a Sue kind of card. It's very white space, a lot of empty area and it works real well as far as you know exactly where to look. It goes right there, right? And then you've got some nice supporting actors like we were talking about in scrapbook class the other day. The location is strong. It's nice in this. It's nicely centered, but toward the top. It's just. I thought it was a pretty good little card. And then these were kind of fun. I took some, because watercoloring is fun. It needs a ribbon, yeah. Watercoloring is sometimes a little bit intimidating, but if you take a 1.5-inch square of watercolor paper and just put some blobby stuff of watercolors and then stamp a black butterfly on top, you look like you can watercolor like a champion. So this was using some outside squares of the same die cut, the same thing, and just using some. I didn't use this for the watercolor paper, but I just did some watercolor in the center, let it dry. This is texture or pattern paper. Let it dry real well, and then once that was really, really dry, added just a black butterfly, which looks really good. Then I thought, well, here we go. Here, let's do 4 cards out of 1 sheet of 12 by 12 white paper, using the same kind of thing, but a little bit different. So we've got. I took the outside square frame of these. Plus, you'll be surprised. This is hilarious. Where this gray came from. I think it's hilarious. Is that 2 dies? No, it's 1 die. It's 1 die, and when you cut it, it has a frame, and then it has the inside. But you can get nesting kind of dies too. That will that you can do a frame and an inside and an outside. But nope, that's close to my heart. It's like, I don't know. One of you girls could help me. I don't know if it's still available, but it's a good frame or die. So anyway, so then I just did the watercolor paper again, the same butterfly, and then I thought, well, should I put some sentiments? And then I thought, no, this is the perfect kind of card to leave open and just use as you need it. And so I left it open. But this gray paper is from the inside of my stamp sets. I took all the papers out of my stamp sets like this, and look at that. It makes a pretty decent little frame there. So it's real nice colored charcoal. So pull these out and use them. They're great for just handy, real nice little things to do, some masking on and things like that. Okay, it's available at least until the new catalog comes out, and then we don't know. Okay, fair enough. So anyway, those are some ways to use the insides and the outsides of just one little square die. And one thing about this, before I leave, one thing I really do like about this is you've got the solid frame. It makes you know where to go. But inside, it's softened with the watercolor and then the butterfly, the feel of the butterfly. Even though the butterfly is very structured, you've got the softening of the watercolor back there. So it makes a nice, balanced kind of card, I think. Yep, the stitched rectangle is a really good set, too. We didn't use that tonight. But, okay, so now I also have a pile. These I keep in the back of the stamp or the die set. I know people have different ways to keep these. I'm just keeping them in here, and then I put whatever I don't use in the back. And then I've used them quite a bit, actually, just pulled them out. So here is a pile of these little square frames, and I'm just going to layer these up so that they're thick. They end up being a bit like chipboard, and I'm going to have one to know where I'm going to put my things. So I'm going to do a little stamping inside. They're going to become a real pretty frame for a little design. And the little design could be anything. So this is like a universal kind of card Doesn't matter if you have them upside down or right side up at the beginning. I do like to have a liquid glue on this one because then I can smoosh them together as they dry. I don't think it has to have glue on every little spot. You can just square them up. And since they're made out of the same die, and what a die is for is to cut out the same shape over and over and over again, you're good to go. If you know, I wonder, you know those birthday cakes that have a gazillion layers of colors? I don't think it would be worth it, but if you did have a lot of scraps, you could make them kind of thick blues and pinks and yellows, but I think it would be crazy. But I wouldn't use die cuts. I don't know. I wouldn't do it. Okay, never mind. Just forget I said anything. I want a toilet paper roll stamps. Vicki, I'll show you how to draw a toilet paper roll. You don't have to have a stamp. It's easy. It really is. Okay, so we're at 4. Let's go one more. Toilet paper is easy. Boom bada boom. You're not eating anything, are you? Boom bada boom. Hello, buddy. Hello. You're a good boy. Yeah, you're starting to know your name. No, I'm not that doesn't take, you don't have to be an artist. I promise. Okay, so then I'm going to take a little cute little tiny flower. I'm going to pencil in where I'm going to have the bottom line. I'm going to put this where I'm going to put the frame and then move it up. Is it up? Let me think. No, move it down just a teeny bit. And just give myself just a little shape right there, a little, almost a goal post. You can't see it, but it's just a little U shape, just so I know where to put this little cotton picking flower. We'll just stamp a couple little flowers here, because it is cute. And where is this from? It's from an old set. I couldn't tell you where. Your brain hurts? Oh. Okay, I'll just cut one for you. And we'll be able to see. It'll be easy. Yeah, you've been training. That's hard. And then we're just going to put that. We could do that just in black and white. It really is kind of cute that way. I've got a little hello right here. I don't know if I want a hello. I'm not going to do the hello. Because I like just I might just do a little bit of pencil on the flowers. Since I did this right on the card base, I don't want to do the alcohol markers. It'll bleed through. So you could do a brush. Whoopsie. That was a little wonky. Never want me to hang any wallpaper. It would be ugly. Okay. So you can't see too well, but it's like a shadow box. And you can put colors in there. I don't know what I want to do. Yep, those younger people. Dadgummum, you'll have to talk to Vicki about them, Sue, because she had to go to a whole class about them. But you could put whatever color you would want to in there. But I think it's cool, just that little, that's really simple, isn't it? That's like a super simple card. And this is another way to do it. It's the same kind of thing with the thick frame with a little froggy in it. So that's a different look with lots of colors right there. Your eye knows exactly where to go. I didn't bother to add a sentiment because it's a small space. If you had more space, it would be easier to put a sentiment in there. The little froggy, he is cute, isn't he? You want to see him a little closer. I did watercolor pencils and used a blending pen. And so like on this area, I took color off after I had 2 colors of green, and then took the color off with the blending pen. He is a sweet little guy. He's saying hi. Hi, give me 5. Hi. Anyway, this would be cute with a little, but you just don't want to use marker. Okay, I'm going to take a second here and explain these things that I'm explaining. We're good on time, so. Okay, Sue. Okay, Sue girl. So you've got some paper here. Oh, I can just, it's not quite big enough. Well, let's just use this. You never know. I may need some gray. Except this is just a little bit too big. So we'll cut it off just a little bit. It's not too heavy, this paper. So it's not intended to be used on projects, but it works. Okay. Okay, so it comes out of the shape after you cut it, and then you pop out the center. That looks kind of cool too. For mixed media, that looks good. And then you can pop out the frame. You see that? So you have a frame, and then you have a center. See, that's all there is to it, but it's cool. And so you have that automatically, and they're both stitched. So if you don't want stitching, then this would not be the right die, but it's, yep, okay, good. And then toilet paper, we'll get after that. Toilet paper is easy. Okay, so, ooh, something's falling down over there. That's okay. So let me think. Just do an oval, a really thin oval at the top. Come down straight on one side, straight on the other. And then you've got this little curve right there. Echo that curve right at the bottom, and there's the bottom. This could also be a can of pumpkin pie. Then at the top, just put a little dark spot. And then as you would with a banner, you just do a little flop at the, maybe a little higher. And then you can put Mr. Whipple's picture in there. You know, the guy who is always making you not squeeze the Charmin. And the big thing, I think, on this is, that's not too great, but it was pretty fast. The big thing is having this angle match this angle, these straight, and then having this one match this. So I think other than that, you're good. Try it. Yep, you can put a little tiny bear there. This will be crazy. Oh, it looks like a, no, it looks like a cow. Okay, so, well, so much for me being an artist. I can't draw a bear. It looks like a cow. So that's good, huh? I think you can do that too. Just practice it. It's not any harder. If you just think of drawing as parts, notice where the lines are straight and which ones are parallel. Notice where there's curves, which ones are parallel, and you'll get it. You'll get it. Start looking for circles. Start looking for squares. Little things that are going to help you do things. That's all. It's really not. Now, you know, the Michelangelo kind of stuff, that takes a lot more skill than I've got, but and patience. My gosh, working on your back in fresco? No thanks. This guy is a nice pretty piece of sage. Pragmatic art is not anything bad, is it? It's good. I cut it at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We're going to trim it after we do our tricks to it. And our tricks are not going to be anything harder than scoring. And that's why I got the old the old trimmer out. I'm looking for my, oh, you know what I bet? I did. I put it in the basket, a tisket, a tasket. And I'm just going to go ahead and do 1 inch scoring. The reason I did it, let's see, where did I say? 5.5, so let's just start at 1. The reason I did it the full size is because with the scoring, it makes it change the size just very, very slightly. And so since I'm trying to teach it right, because you're a bunch of Michelangelos in slippers, I'm pretty sure, I'm going to just show you how to do it and then trim it. So it's just 1 inch increments. And guess what? We're going to turn it 90 degrees. And we are going to do more 1 inch increments, which will, voila, make a grid of squares. Kind of saw that one coming. I'm using a medium-sized stylus ball. If you use something too small, you'll have a medium. Instead of having score lines, you'll have torn lines. And so it's better to go over it a couple times. And I always like to start inside the paper and go out first and then come down. If you start up here, it's just gonna fight you. So start inside, push up, and then pull down. And then you have all these lovely little lines. You can fold on them all to make them a little more prominent, like laugh lines around your eyes. A little more prominent the more you squeeze them. And then now we can see we've got this little part, and now we can figure out what we need to cut off to make it a little better. If I go clear, I'm just going to go right there. And nope, I'm going to cut off the fold too. That's right, I was going to cut off the fold. And I'm going to cut right inside that fold on this one. And it's probably pretty much a 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch. And so if you don't do it that way, you'll be fine. But I'm trying to do it correctly. Then I pulled out some little strawberries in the tops. And I think no, I don't have and then I've got some sage ink. So we're going to do a little tone on tone. We're going to use a little paper for masking. And we're going to make a line of tone on tone strawberries right here first. Make sure that's clean. Yep. Then we've got, and we're going to twist, and we're going to think about balance, and we're going to think about, should this go here, should this go there. You can't do nice little soldiers all in a line, but why would ya? So it's just going to be a little more interesting this way. Then we can come in with some, we don't have to worry about being perfect here, which is good. Especially, you can do 3 of them perfect, and then if the fourth one doesn't turn out right, then just do a couple more that aren't perfect and you'll be good. It'll look like you did it on purpose. Then we're going to take a 1 inch square, or 1 inch by 12, or no, that's not. We're going to make a little panel that's going to go across. So Vicki, when you go to work, they'll say, well, what'd you learn at Fun University? And you can say, I learned how to draw a toilet paper roll. Yeah, that's what I learned at university. It's like we take all the, it's not quite women's studies or anything like that, but we do toilet paper art. Yeah, pretty progressive there. Do some folds so that we get those nice and prominent. Toilet paper art, it's a thing. And that's going to go right along there. We're going to do the same kind of thing, but we're going to do, we're going to use this as our focal point to the sentiment. So we're going to put the sentiment right here. So I have this cute little hello, hello. It fits right in that little inch mark. And then we've got our cute little strawberry. Life skills. That's right, Kim. Life skills. That is exactly right. You just never know. You might get a drink at a bar someday if you can draw a toilet paper. You need some toilet paper in the bathroom. And you can just whip out a napkin and draw some toilet paper. And be the smart aleck of the crowd. I know that's not going to happen. It is a cute little hello sentiment, isn't it? Stephen says when you play the wrong note once, it's a mistake. If you play the wrong note over and over, it's jazz. That is a really good, that's good. I've sat through enough jazz to believe it. Okay, this is going to be the last panel, so I want to make sure I have red on that side. And I would like to have that little strawberry pointed in so your eye will go in. Details, I know details. And then I'm just going to come back in and fill in some of the spots so that it looks pretty balanced and not too much to one way. Then we'll come back in with the strawberry tops, and those strawberry tops make these little things just instantly cute. Okay, and we can also take a strawberry top then and just have a little bit of a leaf coming out of a couple of these. Right here, looks like it has a little space, but I want to protect I want to protect the folds. So, yep, that's a pretty good quote. And by a jazz player. And then I thought it would look cute on some craft. Smooth jazz, yeah. After Hamilton, huh? And we'll put that on there. We'll put it on this. I want to put around the corners real fast. This one too, if you end up not liking the darker side, you can always turn to the lighter side with Luke Skywalker. If you don't like the Darth side. Do some little corner rounds there because we've got round fruit, so it kind of flows with that a little bit. Not overthinking at all. Not me. Stick that on. We're going to have a little landscape card here. I have seen parts of it. It moves so fast it makes my head spin. We just want to line up our folds here. So come to the dark side. We have cookies. I would, you know, it might, there are days that may be all it takes. Kim, there we go. So there we go. We got a little card. You could also put that lower if you wanted to. I think the little green parts are a little lacking. I think I might want to add a little bit of something. I've listened to it a lot. I have listened to that soundtrack a lot. And so I have seen, they've had released on YouTube, they have like individual songs, and I've watched quite a few of them. But they move so fast, I can't keep up. Yes, the words they're so fast. so fast. Yep. And I'm not sure that was a good idea, but it's not the end of the world. But that little, I think this just adds a little bit of a line right to that. Otherwise, you don't know where exactly to look. And since we've been talking about placement, I wanted to make sure we talked a little bit about placement here too. So we got a cute, got a couple cutes. That's good. Yeah, I have listened it, but even if I listen to a song and I think I understand the words, I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people that I didn't know how many there were until Facebook, that never get the words right. So yes, we watch everything with subtitles. So I've learned how to read real fast. But anyway, so this is one other little card. Then there's a couple other ways to use the grid that I had handy that I thought I'd show you. Here's one that has, I thought this was kind of interesting. It's a little bit weird, but here you've got the squares, and then I've just had white and embossed notes with this, so you actually see this, and I think you think to sing it. So that's one way you can use it. Here's another one that's pretty much like that, with the kitty, but look, I put the prints over here, and there's the little sentiment over here, and then we have a couple little details to draw your eye around. And it's just repeating the pattern of the cat, and that pulls it all together. So the grid in the background just becomes a grid. You could also do stamping inside all of those with white. You could do this in white and do different stamps. It would be cute. Yeah. So, and then, oops, here's one more. Here's a 1/2 inch. This was using a 1/2 inch grid and then filled it in with just shimmer pens, and then painted the circle. So you can combine circles and squares. That's what I wanted to make sure I said. And they look great together. But this was just taking the frame of the circle die and just using the shimmer brush, and it looks really good, I think. That's kind of a clean, nice feel. Very summery feel. So that's another cute little way. I have seen that about that idea about turning the sound off of movies. I think it's a great idea. They watched a lot of movies at school, and it was always a little bit of a sore spot in my it was like, whoa. Okay, this one we're going to do 3 cards out of just one using this size, but we're going to do 3 cards. We're going to do a stripe thing like we did before with the striping the paper here. What am I trying to say? I'm getting excited about Hamilton. I'm going to put this on here, make it square it up a little bit. I'm going to use this guy just for fun, for a way to get our started on our diagonal strips. We're going to make this, and then we're going to make cut it in with the die into squares, and use it for 3 different cards. And it's going to be, let's see, it's now 21 after. Let's see how long it takes to do this. I've already got this all cut. That one was a little short. This is a good one to use liquid because you can wiggle woggle. I just grabbed a bunch of strips of, these did not come out of the same kit or anything, just a bunch of strips that I thought would look good together for my purposes. So I mixed some, like this one's a piece of Christmas paper. Christmas in July. Once we get our angle, we're good to go. Look at all the different colors on the back. We've got Christmas, and I don't know, and we've got summer, and I don't know. This one is a baby one, and we can use that again. Just want to make sure there's enough glue on this thing so it picks up all the pieces. One thing Boomer's doing really, really well is he's real relaxed and takes great naps. He really zonks out. So I know he's very, very at ease. These are 1/2 inch, basically. I don't think I even measured Vicki, but I think they're about, so they're varied, but some of them are probably almost 1/4 of an inch, but they go up to 1/2 an inch. This one looks like 3/4. But there's no rule. Not at all. Whatever looks like it would work for, I think there is kind of nice not to have. If you do have really big ones, they need to be not real loud, I think, because they're going to just be the ones that stand out. So if they're fairly uniform in size, it makes it easier for you to decide what to do. I love this part where you cut it off. I just love it. And then when you do have an angle from a previous cut, then you can use it alongside and you don't feel like you're wasting much. It's awesome. I love that kind of stuff. So last night, during our scrapbook reunion, the one lady who was going to move, who ended up, that's exactly right, Stephen. The one lady who was going to move, who's now not moving for a while, was telling how much Close My Heart product she had. And I know it was all close to my heart. And she was saying her daughter, she never let her daughters use it because it was her good paper, and not use it if they were going to run out of a paper. And I was just going, you know what, Tracy, this is exactly why I quit, because you were just kept buying stuff, and you didn't need it, and it just wasn't working out. So I think she said like she had 20 boxes of the stuff. And I'm not sure what size boxes they were, but her mom was going, no, let the girls use it. Let the girls use it, for Pete's sake. He is a wise Yoda. Okay, we're going to go ahead. Look how cute that is. We're going to just trim it up. It's going to be just under 4 inches now. It was a little bit above 4 inches. And we'll make it a little bit shorter. I'm not really sure. It's going to be, and this could be something like Sherry was doing too. That's 5 1/4 now. So with the stripes that were wonky, you could do that too with this. I think they look good too, Patty. So we're going to take this die right here. Oh, now I know what fell over. It was all my plates. Okay, well, we'll get them back. Isn't that funny? They all fell off. Who's to know? Okay, so then we're going to put this on here. Since that has a frame, we're going to end up with 3 pieces. We're going to end up with the outside. You know, I forgot the other thing on this. You can put that in sometimes at a little bit of an angle, and it goes in better. But you're going to end up with the outside frame, the frame here, and the inside. So you can make 3 cards of one process. Just like so. So we have 3 different ones. Then we're going to use just some craft. Pop that on there. Looks like that's not going to be big enough to make much difference on the outside, so we'll just pop. It really won't matter, I don't think. So I'll just go with the shape. I may have to get a bigger piece of craft for the outside. That's okay. So you could use all sorts of things for your design in here too, or you could just use a sentiment. That would work too, because there's quite a bit going on with the pattern. So we can start putting the puzzle pieces together here. This guy can go together. This guy would look good in here. And he really, you know, I think I'll just mat him on something and call it good. I think in the sample, I think I have it's cut better on that one, but you will see it soon. So let me go ahead and just cut a mat. Ah, sorry, sounds like I'm falling apart here. Well, maybe I am a little bit. We'll cut this just about just shy of 4 1/4, and just shy of 5 1/2. And what we'll probably then do, we'll stick him on here. And I just used old scrap paper to put this. It was old copy paper. That keeps it from getting too thick. Stop already. And oh, start down here. That's what the other thing I was noticing. If you start down here, you've got more to work with than those skinny little legs up there. They're just too much. It's like trying to get balance on high heels when you got skinny little legs. So start at the bottom. Look, I'm wonky. I don't know if I can stand it. I can't stand it. Name the movie. I can't stand it. It's an old one. You're still a little renegade there. Now I can do this. And you can fit it in there. You can feel it. It's cool. It's like being helpful. Then we can decide what we want to do with it. We'll pretend we did this in the first place. Or we can pretend that we didn't do it in the first place and we can use the pieces. Lots of options. I rather like this option. Okay. So I've got 3 card bases. I've got card 1. Let me get some stuff out of here for the love of Pete. We've got card 2. And we've got card 3. So that's pretty cool. I think it works kind of cute together. I think I might put this one back up this way. We'll center this guy first, the big guy. Because also, again, it's going to be easier to center a big square than it is going to be to center this. Then this guy will just pop right around it. That's not quite straight. I'm pretty good at being crooked tonight. Don't do any dealings with me. I'm feeling crooked. And we'll go ahead and just add a little bit of liquid around it because that's easy too. You could put it on this. Remember, this has a side that's more prominent than the back side. The front side's more prominent. So, yeah, we're gonna have, that'll be cute, won't it? Isn't that cute? I love it. Then we'll put this guy down. Again, this would make a nice card set. I didn't say that again, so I don't know why I said again. It would make a nice card set or for a prize or something. It's kind of nice to have an ensemble, but it's also just a great thing to be able to make more than one card out of a die cut too. I like to keep that right on the card when I'm going around. Keeps me from getting too much too fast. There we go. Nice little frame. Doesn't that look sharp? Looks good. Looks very, it almost looks, I don't know, jungly? Kind of jungly. So you could do some, I don't know what you, I have a plan for what I want to add to this. I hope it looks good with it. I don't know. This one almost looks like a Linus or a Lucy Brown. You know, kisses. A stand there where she gets, oh, her therapy thing, that's right. Lucy and Charlie Brown, her little therapy booth. Yeah, it's not too straight. Well, doctor's in. That's it. That's horribly crooked. Okay, I'm going to go with it for right now. And then this guy goes inside. I'm going to rip this apart. But for right now, I'm going to keep it. And what I did, I'm not sure if it's going to work now, but I cut some little alligators out, little izods, to go on these little things. I think they almost need something to pop them up. I don't want to cut them out, but I think they need to be popped up. They're just blending in a little too much. I think. I gotta look at them a little bit. They've got potential. I'm not sure. Let me show you what my samples look like. This one goes with this. One goes with this, and this one goes with this. So I did use the, I don't know how I did it. Anyway, there we go. So there's a different way to look at it. I just wanted to use that stamp set. So cute. It's old. I did color the elephants and the alligators with brushes. So that's why I have this ombre look on this elephant. It's kind of cool like that. Yep. So the elephant, and then I just did the cutout of the hearts. And this was with a stamp set I had years and years ago. I sold the stamp set, but I cut that out because I never had seen it Because I Love You with that size. So I cut it out and sold the rest. Yeah, these guys just need it popped up, I think. I think they'd be fine. You know, even if they had some foam tape behind them, I think they'd be better. So let me get some foam. I know I have some green. I think just anything that would set them up a little bit will help. I think they do just need a little something, but I think they'll be okay once we get them up. He's kind of got a lot of detail. I don't really want to do too much on his detail. So he may get a little scrunched if he was in the mail. But not terribly, I don't think. And with that green, it doesn't show too much. And we'll put that on there. Probably a good time to put the sentiment on too before we pop up this guy, but we'll make him walk on that frame. Yeah, he's kind of cute. He's kind of cute. And then I don't know, Because I Love You? I'm not sure. But there you go. I think those would work like that. So, whew, gosh, it's time, and that's it. So, let's get these cards out so you can vote. You guys have been great to hang out with tonight. Very attentive, I mean to tell you. It's good. You're a good group. We'll put the alligators on a pile. We'll put the elephants under them, I guess. That's a whole bunch of cards. That's a whole lot of cards. There's another one we made. There's the strawberry one we made. Oh, here's a real arty one. Yeah, I didn't want to finish this one. This was made, anyway, I can do this Monday. Then there's the postage card one. Lots of samples too, but so that's basically what we did tonight. So we had this one first, and we were double dipping in our dies. So there we go. So that's what we got done tonight. Yeah, yay on the arty one. Yeah, it's got a technique. I don't want to go into it right now, but we will do it. We will do it. I will leave it out. I'll hear myself say this, so. Oh, you fooled me. You were multitasking, working on cards. Well, that's okay, Kim, because you said you had kind of lost your mojo, so I'm glad you're working on something. That's good. We've got card 1, card 2, card 3, card 4. What are you thinking? Do we hear? Okay, so we've got a Kim for the butterfly. That would be a 1. Who else likes what? What's the favorite? We've got another butterfly. Oh, I like the butterfly too. It's colorful. We got 1 and 4. 1 and 4. That's fun. 1 is a fave. Oh, yep, we got that butterfly one. So, okay, good deal. Yeah, I liked them all actually. So Kim's got, okay, Kim goes 1, 3, 2, 4. Yeah, good deal. I don't know. They all have, I would be happy to get any of them, I think. Except maybe the crocodile. I'm not too crazy about it. Alligator. Then, of course, we had Pablo Picasso. We had the stencils. We had lots of samples. Wow, we had a lot going on here tonight. 2 with color. Oh, yeah, I left it blank. Or 4. Fun. Isn't that nice that we're not all the same? I like that. I like that we can reach a couple different styles, too, that people like. It's good. All right. We did it again. That's the second one of our cards. Whew, can you believe it? And so tomorrow night's craft roulette. Next week is scrapbook, and then study hall. I'll get this out, and there's not much to it, but I will show you what I did. And then the last cards, and we're going to do triangles. We're working up to the more complex shapes. And triangles have a lot. There's different kinds. Isosceles and right angles and obtuse and acute. So it'll be fun. Hope you enjoyed learning a couple things tonight. I hope you learned a couple things. I hope you had a good time. I always enjoy being with you. Thank you so much for spending some time with us on campus, on the Mesquite campus of Fun University. And I am going to say good night. Kiss your brains for being here. You're the best. Night night.